Alright, well, I'm doing a late AEW Dynamite review, but here it goes. Was Dynamite any good? Well, we'll find out. Dynamite opened up. Dynamite opened up with Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet with MVP and Talon Lauren. The winner gets the #1 spot in the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal at AEW Full Gear. And then the winner of that Casino Gauntlet gets that new AEW national title because Tony Khan just loves giving out those titles. Loves making those titles. So as soon as the match started, Ricochet did a promo after the bell rang. He trashed the state, saying the only good thing to come out of this state is his beautiful wife. Ricochet mocked the MVP for calling it the international title, and Ricochet would be the inaugural national champion. Ricochet called Lashley a bald idiot and said nobody was stopping him from fulfilling his quest for gold. Lashley finally had enough and tossed Ricochet over the top onto Tawa and Khan onto the floor. Lashley hit some moves on all three heels on the floor. Ricochet hit a spinning kick and a standing SSP into a moonsault for 2 because Lashley powered out of it. Lashley got a hold of Ricochet, spiked him with a spinebuster. Lashley hit a spear for the pinfall win. And that was about a 3-minute match. And Bobby Lashley got the win in decisive fashion. And then after the match, Samoa Joe was backstage with Shibata, who faces Hangman Page. Joe said he was told that if he gets involved in a Page Shibata match, that he loses his AEW World Title match at Full Gear. Joe told Page his punishment begins tonight against Shibata, and he'll get justice for what Page did to Hobbs. Joe said he'll collect that at Full Gear. So then the Young Bucks were about to be interviewed by Renee Paquette about whether they would join the Don Callis family, but Don Callis interrupted. Don told the Bucks that they'd be the greatest, and Callis said he would give them a special ring entrance. That led to the Bucks' entrance with Callis introducing them. And then the next match was Skyfight. Scorpio Sky, Dante Martin, and Darius Martin with Leela and Christopher Daniels versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander of Don Callis' family. Don Callis joined commentating. There was some back and forth action for a few minutes. They went picture to picture. This match went about 11 minutes, with the winners being the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick. And then after the match, Don Callis was in the ring with the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander, along with Rocky Romero, Mark Davis, and Hidru Saro. Don called for the Bucks to join the Don Callis family. However, the Bucks were hesitant. Kenny Omega went down to the ring with Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. The heels left the ring. And yeah, it should be the good match at Full Gear with Bucks and Josh against Omega and Jurassic Express. I think the Bucks are going to be signing with Kenny Omega, and I think the Elite are going to be back together. And then Willow Nightingale and Honey Clanman were interviewed by Renee Paquette. They talked about how they're going to be the first AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. They said they were the Babes of Wrath and said it a few times. Oh. Yeah, I think Willow and Honey. Oh, God. One of the most likable babyfaces women's team in the AEW, so putting the women's tag team titles on them is a good idea. Then Sean Benjamin faced Speedball Mike Bailey. This match went 12 minutes. It was a really good match between Shelton Benjamin and Speedball Mike Bailey. Um, yeah. Shelton Benjamin got the win. Near the end, Shelton hit a super kick that Bailey sold great with a flip ball. The referee, Paul Turner, counted 2 and stopped while claiming Bailey's shoulders got up, but I don't know. But when MVP went in the ring thinking that was it, but was told that it was not, so Benjamin hit German suplex, knee strike, and super kick for the pinfall win. And yeah, that was that. And so that means that Shelton Benjamin will be number 2 in the Casino Gauntlet match after Bobby Lashley in the number 1 spot. And next, John Moxley and Claudio were facing Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. It was back and forth. The winners were John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. It was a solid match, but they ignored the rules too much, and that made it tough to watch if you're trying to watch pro wrestling without using logic. I guess it was booked this way to give Moxley a win since he tapped out last week. It's a cheap win for the Death Riders, which is fitting for them as a heel group. After the match, Moxley and Claudio tried an attack, so Kyle O'Reilly ran down to the ring for the save. Kyle applied an ankle lock on Moxley. Yuta and Garcia kicked Kyle, but he held on until he had to let go. It was yeah. I think Orange is strong when they're trying to help Kyle keep the hold on. Claudio pulled Mox out of the ring. The Death Riders left. Kyle O'Reilly did a good promo saying he wants to fight John Moxley at Full Gear, and he wants a no-holds-barred a no-holds-barred match. Kyle abandoned Moxley. He tapped out at Blood and Guts, and then Moxley accepted. They're really pushing Kyle O'Reilly as the main event player against John Moxley, which is actually nice to see. I think he'll be, I think this match will be good. And O'Reilly hasn't had too many pay-per-view matches in AEW, so that's good for him. And then the AEW champions, Bro Dito, did a promo talking about the match with FTR. Brody King said that FTR proved that they are one of the best in AEW, but they haven't proven that they can beat Brodito. King said they'll keep the titles at Full Gear. Bandito said that Brodito never stops fighting. And then Mercedes was shown walking backstage, and she has a match in the main event of Collision. The trio of Kenny Omega, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus are backstage for a promo. Omega spoke how things have become personal with Josh Alexander, the Young Bucks. Omega mentioned Josh injuring Ibushi and attacking Nakazawa. And Omega said that no amount of money will save them. Omega said their time is coming, and Jack and Luchasaurus said nothing. So the next match was Timeless Love Bombs, Tony Storm, and Mina Shakira versus Alex Windsor and Riho. So Riho's been my favorite in AEW since day one, since she came in there. She won the first ever AEW World Champion, but yeah, and she's like really popular with the crowd, but they don't really seem to do much with her. And they stuck her in a makeshift tag team. So it started with Mina and Rio exchanging holds until they tagged in. Storm and Alex exchanged arm drags after Rio hit a forearm smash. Storm caught her and hit a backbreaker. The Mina tagged in. Storm right into the ring, so Alex and Rio hit a double suplex on her. Rio jumped out of the top with a crossbody block on both opponents on the floor. And the winners were the Love Bombs, which I kind of figured they were going to win. Toni Storm and Mia Shikara. These women worked really hard to put on an entertaining match. The Toni and Mina match team is very charismatic, so easy to like them. The Alex Rijo team felt like it was thrown together to fill out the tournament, which it kind of was, yeah. Holy crap, it's going to be so good today. Oh. And then TNT champion Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher and Mike Briscoe were interviewed by Alicia Atout. Their TNT title match at Full Gear is a no DQ match, and if Briscoe loses, then he has to join the Don Callis family, which I don't think is going to happen. So I think Mike Briscoe's actually, so they might actually use my idea and give Mike Briscoe the title. And then Kyle Fletcher, like, he's so good, he'll be ready for the main event scene. Mike says he represents his family and he represents the conglomeration, and that he's not going to leave that behind. Mike said that failure is not an option. Mike said he's going to make his family proud. That's when Okada and his Shishado showed up to attack Briscoe. Okada said that they are big orphans of Mike's kids, and Kyle thanked Okada for not agreeing to no physicality. Okada said he's glad he could help because Deshka couldn't Okada. And then Pac was featured in the video. Pac is talking about Darby Allin. Pac said that leading up to Blood and Guts, he promised Allin he'd break his neck, but that didn't happen. Pac said he sent Allin to the burn unit instead. Pac said nobody has heard from Allin since then. Pac said maybe he'd take things a little bit too far. Pac said if Allin still has that backbone, he'll answer Pac's question. Pac said he's challenging Allin to a legit competition, no weapons, just the two of them. Pac said that when Allin is stripped of his bells and whistles, there's no chance Allin can compete at the level with a legit athlete like him. And then the main event of Dynamite was Hangman Page versus Shibata. This match went about 11 minutes, with Hangman Page getting the win. This is okay for a television main event. Page was obviously going to win. He didn't do anything too crazy. Page sold a lot, and Shibata is solid in his role. The finish was lacking excitement since it was just a clothesline by Page. Just showed up his bugshot lariat, so it made Shibata look weak because of how easy it was to beat him. And then they had Collision right after. I'll just go over a few things that happened on the show. AEW Women's Tag Team title tournament, Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir defeated Ty Mello and Anna Jay. Poor Ty Mello and Anna Jay. Anna Jay was like so over New Japan, and then she comes back with all this momentum, and now she just kind of, they don't know what to do with her. In a double jeopardy match, Okada defeated Mascara Dorado. By winning that match, a new match was added to the AEW Full Gear Tailgate pre-show. All Sky Team Mascara, Dorado, Mystico, and Neon is the Don Callis family. Okada, Kazuchika, and Hishisawa's of the CML World Trios Championships. And then, of course, and then Ring of Honor Women's TV title unification match. Which, of course, Mercedes Ultimo Monet defeated Red Velvet to become the official Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship. She didn't gain the title, she just kept the title. And, yeah, of course, Mercedes was going to win that match. Man, I was like feeling so good. So final thoughts of Dynamite. It was a good show overall. It was the level of the blood and guts. And it definitely did not feel like a go-home show. This is the go-home show for Full Gear, because Full Gear is this Saturday. Which means that I'll be doing a prediction show probably on Saturday. A week before the show. And yeah, so that is my AEW review. Yeah, I could have a lot more to say. My nose is like running like a faucet right now. I have no idea why. I was feeling so good today, and I was just like, yeah. But yeah, so that's my Dynamite review. I hope you like it, and yeah. And I kind of want to get Borderlands done, but probably won't play that until maybe Saturday, I'm not sure. But yeah, on Saturday I'll do two videos. I'll do the SmackDown review and the AEW prediction show for the Full Gear. And then Sunday I will do a review of Full Gear. I'll try to watch all of it this weekend. And then, yeah. But until then, yeah. Bye.